Calls continue to grow for New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez to step down following the 3-count federal indictment implicating him in a bribery scheme. But the calls are all coming from fellow Democrats. Republicans not jumping on the resign bandwagon. In fact, some now coming out to defend him. Why? Now, Tuesday night on the show, we talked about how Democrats' motives on this are not as pure as they might seem in calling for him to resign. They say it's principle. But if Bob Menendez were to step down, New Jersey's Democratic governor would appoint his replacement. So there's no political cost for Democrats. Take the moral high ground. They can get rid of a bad apple. They can retain their 51-49 Senate majority. Maybe they can help someone in re-election for 2024. But what is driving the Republicans to go so easy on Senator Menendez? Is it that they think he does more damage to Democrats to have Menendez still in office? Do they want to apply the "we don't care about indictment" standard to Donald Trump or George Santos, who's holding on to a seat House Republicans can't lose? Is it that Republicans just no longer trust federal law enforcement? Whatever the reason, it is jarring to see how much support Menendez seems to have among Republicans. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas tweeting, quote, "Senator Menendez has a right to test the government's evidence in court just like any other citizen. He should be judged by jurors and New Jersey's voters, not by Democratic politicians who now view him as inconvenient to hold their power." Senator Marco Rubio, "The allegations against the senior senator from New Jersey are nasty and the evidence offered difficult to explain away. But in America, guilt is decided by a jury, not politicians in fear of their party losing a Senate seat." Now, to reiterate a point I made the other night, innocent until proven guilty only applies to a court of law, where your freedom can be taken away by the government. In no other walk of life, including the U.S. Senate, is anyone else entitled to a presumption where we presume them innocent and we stack the deck in favor of the accused. Nonetheless, it's not just Cotton and Rubio. Senators Ted Cruz, J.D. Vance, many more are saying Menendez should remain in office while he fights the charges against him. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was one of the only few Republicans in Congress calling on Menendez to step down until a reporter on Capitol Hill reminded him of this.
You called on Bob Menendez to resign.
Did I call on, or did you ask me a question?
You did over the weekend. You said he should resign. Do you think that George Santos, who's been indicted on federal criminal charges, should also resign?
No. I think George could have his day in court, and I think Menendez can have his day in court for all he's saying.
Why do you think he needs to resign then?
It could be his choice of what he wants to do.
Ah, yes, the George Santos conundrum. It's one of a few things making it difficult for Republicans to go after Menendez too hard. 4-seat majority in the House. They don't want to risk a seat, which would be filled based on a special election, which Republicans might lose in New York. Both sides want to wrap themselves in the cloak of principle, when in reality, they're both making nakedly political decisions. I'm a bit more confused and almost interested by Republicans on this. So joining us for some insight, Bill Spadea, New Jersey's top morning radio show host. He's a Republican who's been following Senator Menendez and the allegations against him for years. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Explain this to me.
So there's the political side. There's also the principled side. Take that for a minute so we'll be less cynical. The principled side is that Menendez is certainly in trouble, and he's been in trouble with allegations, honestly, going back 2 decades. So the first thing I would say on the Democrat side is, where have they been for all this time? Now they're finding their principles. I don't buy it. They want to get him out of the way because they know that
he's inconvenient now, right?
They're in trouble.
Right.
And they've done this before. We had Bob Torricelli, New Jersey senator, 2 decades ago, got himself in all kinds of trouble. All allegations. The Democrats pushed him out of the way, took retired Senator Lautenberg in. Boom, they won the race.
But interestingly, in New Jersey, when Chris Christie was the governor, some of the same people who were calling for Menendez, right? Silent.
Because they knew Chris would appoint a Republican.
Exactly.
Now Murphy, he could even appoint his wife.
Exactly. So explain to me the Republican.
So there's, again, also the principled side, where you've got a lot of Republicans saying, look, there is a witch hunt against Donald Trump. We've got the weaponization of the Justice Department. If we're going to say innocent until proved guilty on Donald Trump, we have to be consistent and say it about Bob Menendez. That's the principled side. Here's the cynical side. They want him in there. This guy's beatable. We haven't elected a Republican senator in New Jersey in 5 decades. There's a huge opportunity if he's there. Back to that Torricelli example, the Republican, Doug Forrester, was leading by double digits until they did the switch. All of a sudden, Democrats win the seat by 8 or 9 points.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.